You know her laugh. You know the way he pauses before he says something funny. You know their kitchen, their dog, the mug they always drink from. You have never met them. Somewhere in your mind, a switch has been flipped, and it happened without your permission. That switch tells your brain this stranger is a friend. A real one. The kind you'd trust with a secret. But the real answer is far stranger than, I just like their content. Your brain was built for a world of maybe 150 people. That number comes from British anthropologist Robin Dunbar, who spent years studying primate brain size and social group size. He found a consistent pattern. The bigger the neocortex, relative to the rest of the brain, the bigger the social group an animal can track. For humans, that ceiling lands around 150 relationships. Not 150 acquaintances. 150 people your brain can hold a real social model of, with history, personality, and trust attached. For nearly all of human history, that number was the whole world. Every face you saw was a face you knew. Every voice was attached to a body standing in front of you. Then television arrived. Then the internet. Then a phone in your pocket, playing a face that talks directly to you, makes eye contact with the camera, uses your first name if you're lucky, and shows up again tomorrow and the day after that. Your brain has no evolutionary category for a person who talks to me but cannot see me, so it reaches for the closest one it has. Friend. Psychologists Donald Horton and Richard Wohl named this back in 1956. They called it a parasocial relationship, a one-sided bond where you know a great deal about someone who does not know you exist. At the time, they were writing about radio hosts and early television personalities. They had no idea how small that would sound one day. Here is what makes it strange. A parasocial bond doesn't feel one-sided. It feels mutual. That's the trick. Direct eye contact through a lens. A conversational tone instead of a formal one. Small confessions. A bad day, a personal story. A joke that seems just for you. These are the exact signals your brain uses in real life to measure closeness. Repeated exposure. Vulnerability. Familiarity. Your nervous system doesn't have a separate filter for this closeness is happening through a screen. It just registers closeness, and closeness reads as relationship. Think about what happens when a creator you watch regularly goes quiet for a week. A flicker of concern. Are they okay? That flicker is not irrational. It's your ancient tribal alarm system, the one built to notice when someone from your group of 150 goes missing, misfiring on a person who was never in your group to begin with. Researcher Jonathan Cohen has spent years studying why these bonds form so easily, and one of his findings is almost uncomfortable to sit with. The more a person struggles with loneliness or social anxiety, the stronger their parasocial attachments tend to become. Not because lonely people are gullible, because the brain doesn't actually require a two-way relationship to produce the neurochemical reward of connection. It only requires the signals of one, which means a parasocial bond isn't a glitch, exactly. It's a shortcut. Your ancient brain is doing exactly what it was built to do. Bond with familiar, friendly, expressive faces. It just never evolved a way to check whether those faces know you're there. Here's the twist that makes this even stranger. These bonds aren't shallow substitutes for real ones. Brain imaging studies looking at how people respond to favorite media figures show activation in the same regions used for real-world social bonding and trust. As far as large parts of your brain are concerned, the connection is not fake. It's just unreciprocated. And it isn't only individual creators. It's fictional characters you've mourned. It's a podcast host whose voice makes a commute feel less alone. It's an athlete you've never spoken to, whose losses feel personal. Somewhere between infancy and adulthood, humans develop the ability to extend real emotional investment toward people who are, structurally, strangers. There's a modern mirror worth looking at directly. Some researchers have started asking whether heavy parasocial reliance can quietly replace the harder, messier work of building reciprocal relationships, the kind with real friction, real vulnerability, real risk of rejection. A parasocial bond asks nothing of you. It never disagrees with you at an inconvenient moment. It never needs you back. That one-sidedness is exactly what makes it comforting, and exactly what makes it incomplete. None of this means the connection is meaningless. A voice that makes you feel less alone at 2 a.m. is doing real psychological work, even if it never knows your name. The danger isn't in feeling that pull. The danger is in mistaking the shortcut for the destination, in letting the easy bond quietly stand in for the harder ones your ancient brain was actually built to need. So the next time you catch yourself worried about someone you've never met, missing a week of their posts, don't be embarrassed by it. Your brain isn't malfunctioning. It's using a 150-person operating system to run a species of 8 billion, doing its ancient, familiar best with a world it was never designed to hold. You know her laugh. You know the way he pauses before he says something funny, and somewhere underneath that familiarity, your oldest instincts are still asking the same question they always have. Is this someone I can trust?